Crafty friends, today for day 7 we're going to put together the gift for a teenage girl. So I had bought this water bottle and these other things from the Dollar Tree, which I had showed in my haul, but I got this pink and purple eyeshadow, bright pink nail polish, and then this nail polish with a bunch of different little colors in a clear, and the pink lip gloss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some shred. I have some purple shred and then I have some pink and gold shred, and I'm going to mix them together. So what I'll first try to do is put it into this bottle, thinking that I'm going to shake it. Now, you know what? Shred doesn't shake. So I end up dumping it out onto the mat and tossing it and then putting it back in. And then I am going to take the nail polish and other items and put it in. Okay, so I'm just going to get everything opened up here, and then I am going to fit them in to the water bottle. And I move them around a bit, trying to get them how I like them. Okay, and then I'm going to open up this lip gloss and get it in, and then this part of our project will be done. I'm just going to add a little bit more shred so that it keeps, so everything stays standing up and doesn't fall over. So I just kind of tuck it in behind on one side. Okay. And now we are going to work on making a custom box for our gift. So for this project, for my chipboard, I used a cereal box. You don't need anything really heavy duty for it. Okay, if you're using the same water bottle that I'm using, you need 3 pieces that are 9 7/8 of an inch high by 3 3/8 of an inch wide. And then you need a square that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now I took an oval die and ran this through my spell binders. When I did it, I stacked the paper and the chipboard together and I ran it through. It did not cut through the paper and the chipboard. It cut through the chipboard and it didn't cut through the paper, but it did leave an indent kind of mark, so I was able to line my die back up and get the hole for the paper in the right spot. Now the paper for those pieces was 10 7/8 by 5 inches. And then I have 2 squares that are 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then the 2 other pieces were 3 3/8 by 6 inches. And then you'll need a couple of sheets of 12 by 12. So the first thing we're going to do is put some glue onto a piece of the chipboard. And we will just put it toward one edge, leaving about 1/2 inch to the side, and center it as far as height. And you just want to take your bone folder and You really want to press down and work this so that you get the glue all the way to the edges. And I flip it over and I do it on the other side as well. If any glue leaks out, just take a paper towel or a napkin and just wipe it up. Okay, then we'll go on to the next piece. Now when we do this, you want to leave a gap. This is thin chipboard, so I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch. But what you want to do is leave enough space that a piece of chipboard could sit in the gap. So you don't need a big gap, but it does need to be big enough for a piece of chipboard with whatever thickness you're using to be able to fit into the gap. And we're just going to do the same thing here and get glue all over this, and then we will put it down. I will have all the measurements for the chipboard and the paper in the description box below, which will work if you are using the same water bottle that I used. If you're using a different water bottle, you will have to figure out your measurements. So for the diameter of the box, what you need to do is sit your bottle down on some type of a measuring mat and see what size square you would need for your bottle to be able to sit in. And then you'll want it to be probably about 1/2 inch taller than your bottle. And so whatever size square you need, so if you need a 3-inch square for it to sit in, then you're going to want your sides to be about 3 inches wide. You just want to make sure that your square has enough room, so don't make it like a super tight square. Okay, so once we get all of this done and I get everything smoothed down, check it. If there's any spots that you need to add a little extra glue in, do. Then I'm going to take the edges and just start working them up a little bit, kind of bending them and then smoothing it with my bone folder along the edge. We will need that later. I'm going to make this a little bit narrower because I don't really need that much paper there. I do want about 1 inch at the top because when I fold it over I want it to be neat. Okay, so now we're going to move on to this piece. And I'm going to put glue all around the oval cut out because I want to make sure that I have very good contact when I do that. If you don't have a die cutting machine that you can do this on, you could probably do either a square or a rectangle. And what you would do is just take a piece of chipboard, cut out the size shape you want for your hole, and then attach it using like double-sided tape or glue, and then use a craft knife to cut around it. Of course, you can always make a box without a window. You don't have to have a window. So now I'm going to very carefully make sure I get my oval lined up before I start pushing down. And then I'm going to start smoothing it around the oval first because I want to make sure that it's stuck down so it does not slide when I go to press down on the rest of it. I'm just wiping up any glue that oozes out as I'm doing this. And I'm going to start on the rest of it. Okay, so once I get this done, I will take some acetate. And I just use what you get like at a office supply store for overhead projectors. Okay, and I'm just cutting it down so that it'll just fit right around my window. And I'm just going to put a little line of glue all along the edges of the acetate. And then just kind of press it down. I got a little bit of glue, so while it's still wet, I'm going to get it wiped up so that it doesn't stick to the acetate. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this paper. I'm going to bend it up. Okay. Now, we're going to get ready to cover the inside of the box. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this. And I cut this to 9 7/8 of an inch high by 10 1/4 wide. Okay. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use my tape gun for this part. I'm just going to come right around the edges, and then I am going to take some glue and put it in the middle. And then I'm just going to take this and make sure you get it lined up right. Once you have it in place, you just press it down. Okay, so right here, what you want to do is cut just a little bit below those corners on all 4 corners to make mitered edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work my paper over the edges, getting it where it folds easy. And now I'm going to work where you have the cracks between the boards, and you want to work this until you can get it to fold easily. If you need to re-smooth anything, re-smooth it so you don't have any bumps or bubbles, and you just keep going until you can get it to come up on the edges. Now we're going to just glue our edges down on all 4 sides of the box. Well, on this 3/4 of the box anyway. Wipe up any glue that leaks out. Just work it down good. Okay. And I want, at the top, which is what I'm working on here, I want about an inch. So that it'll look nice and neat. Now for this, I realize I don't need quite as much at the bottom, so I trim it down to probably about 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we're just gonna and then we're just going to work the little parts there too so that we get our box where it folds neatly. And you can see it will go around our water bottle. Okay, now we will get ready to finish up the front part of the box. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get this in place so that the window part's lined up. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to find the ends of the cardboard and just kind of rub down on it so that I can get a line right where the ends of the cardboard is. And then I will cut off the excess on the top and the bottom. And I trim the bottom a little bit shorter as well. Okay, I decided to do ATG tape, and what I do is I just come around the window opening with my ATG tape. And then I come around the edges of the cardboard. close to the window but not getting on the window. And then I carefully line up my paper. I just check it on the other side, and then I get it smoothed down. And now I'm working the side edges so that they fold up. This is what we will be using to attach the front of our box to the rest of the box. Now, on what is the bottom of the box, I'm going to cut the little squares off completely because we don't need those. And then I will miter the top ones. Okay. And then I just make a little slant cut there on those pieces as well. Now I press this open, and I'm going to put glue down and glue these two pieces of paper together. And I just use my fingers to smooth them out. Okay, and then we're going to fold up the bottom. If your paper has a pattern that has a direction, which mine does, it's very important you make sure that you have your paper going in the right direction. Okay. Now once we have that smoothed out, now we're going to take the square that matches the outside paper of our box. And I'm going to, using this square piece of cardboard, I'm going to fold the edges up around it. And this is going to make the bottom of our box. And we're not gluing the cardboard in here. You do need that cardboard, but we're not gluing it in here. So what you want to do is you'll come in and you're going to just cut up to the score line. On two of the sides. And I decided that side is a little bit wider than I need. And then you're going to come in here and you're just going to do little angle cuts, which will just make it easier to fold it together. So see, you just take a little sliver out. Then you do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, now you'll fold the tabs to the inside and attach them to the other side. You just want to line up and make sure everything meets nice and neat and square. And you do have to hold them in place long enough for the glue to get tacky and hold it. And then we're going to do the other side. Okay, now this is going at the bottom of our box. And because nothing is ever perfectly square, just play with it until you have it where it fits in the best. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach one side of the front of our box. And we're going to do this by putting glue onto this tab. And then we're going to match it up right to the edge. And then you're going to smooth it down. trying to show you. So you want your edges to match. And then you're going to come in with your bone folder and really rub it down. And get it attached good. And then I just kind of lay it down and push down there too. Okay. Now we are going to get ready to put the bottom of our box in. And it's going to end up like this. Okay. There again, just making sure we have it the way it fits in the best. And I'm going to put glue onto two sides of this. And so I'm going to line it up on the side and with the front. I'm going to take my bone folder and making sure you want to keep the bottom of the box flush with the bottom of the sides. So just work with it till you get it exactly like you need it. Okay. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to put glue on what actually would be the back of the box. And I'm going to line that up, get it attached, and then what I'll do is I will flip it over so that that is laying down against my table. And I'll come in with my bone folder and rub it in place. Okay. And now we're going to put glue along the last side of the bottom. And I just kind of hold it there at the corner with the tab. Okay, and then I'm going to take glue and run it all on this tab here. And then we will attach the final side of the box. Try to make sure everything is square. Now I'm going to put that side down so it's against the table. And then I'm reaching my hand in and rubbing, and then I'm doing a bone folder. And you just want to give it a little time to kind of set up. Okay. So once this is set up now, that's basically our box. We're going to take the other square and we're going to fold it up around the square piece of chipboard. And we're going to go ahead and stick it down, and then we'll fold the edges up and burnish them down. This is going to go inside our box at the bottom. And this will make the bottom of our box sturdy. So we just want to get this glued down. I'm not being real particular about making sure I get everything on all the edges for this so much, because this is going to be face down in the box and it'll hold down. And I'll just put a little bit of glue around the edges, and then I'm just going to get it in here and fit it into the bottom of the box. So see, there it is down at the bottom. Okay, and then just checking to make sure the bottle fits well, and it does. Now we're going to make the top. And so we're going to take the two pieces that are 3 3/8 by 6 inches, and we're going to score at 1 inch and then at 4 3/8. And then we're going to take the other one and we're going to do the same thing. So 1 inch and then 4 3/8. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fold them on the score lines and burnish them. So the inside piece you fold in the opposite direction because you want to fold it where the color part is going to show. Okay. So this is going to make our edge. I'm going to take tape and I'm just going to put tape all around the edges, and I'm going to put it on the score mark as well. And I got a little off the thing, so I'm just folding my tape over to itself. And then I do take a little bit of glue and put it on the one edge and into the center. And a piece of my hair is on here, so finally get that off. Okay. Get the glue on, and then I'm going to match up the 1 inch end first. You just want to get it matched up, match your corners up before you press it down. Then you can just fold it up onto itself, and then I just burnish it down with my bone folder. And when I flip it over, I notice that I just was off just a little bit, so I just trimmed that off. Okay. Let's get it burnished down good. Now I'm going to get my quarter rounder, and on the 1 inch end, I'm going to use my 1/2 inch quarter rounder, and I'm going to round the corners. And then here, I'm just going to start right at the fold and just cut at a slight angle. And then I'm just going to do it on the other side. Now I take some distressing, I'm just checking the fit, making sure it fits well. I'm going to take some Distress ink. I think this is in, I don't remember, it's a purple color anyway. I just go around the edges because I don't want where the two pieces of paper meet and they're white. I don't like that look. So I just come around the edges on that. Now we're going to take glue, and on the longer piece where we cut the angled cuts, we are going to get glue in there. And now what we're going to do is on the back is line up your score mark with the top edge of the box. Make sure you have it nice and straight, and then just burnish it down with your bone folder. Just checking. So there you go. You have the top of your box. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece of paper that came with this paper pad, and I'm going to cut off this strip that says, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And I'm going to use this to make just a little decorative border. And here again, I'm just going to take my Distress ink and come around the edges. And then basically the part that says "believe in magic," I'm just deciding whether I want on the top or the bottom. I decide on the bottom. And "believe in magic," actually I can make it fit where that part's on the front. And so then I just come around here and I just fold it around, and it's not big enough to go all the way around the box. But what I'm going to do is take a scrap from what we used to do the inside of the box, and I'm going to cut a piece to add to it. And I find out I didn't cut it the right size the first time, I believe. So I'll check my measurement again. And there we go, it matches up this time. So, just rechecking, make sure that's how I want it. And then I'm just going to attach one end of this to the paper. And then I go ahead and do the distress ink on that little piece. Now I'm going to start with the front of the box, and I'm going to put glue on the piece that's going to go on the front, and I'm going to stick it down. A lot of paper pads come with like little border cut aparts, so sometimes they're nice to use for something like this. And I just go around and I just get this stuck down. And then this will basically complete our box. Now, I do decide after I'm off camera that I want to add some flowers and ribbon and stuff. And I do that, and I come back and show you the completed decorated box. But I did do that off camera. Okay, here we go. So I added a ribbon, I added flowers, I made a butterfly. And I'm just showing you what I've done here. And the ribbon, I wrapped it around the lip of the box. Now I did in here, I took a little piece of paper and I folded it and put it in right there like that, because the bottle doesn't come all the way up to the top, and I was worried that it might kind of like get pushed down too far. And so that completes our project for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you click the bell, you'll get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, happy, crafty day.